I'm here with Brewers left-hander Robert Gasser, who just finished up signing for Onyx and eBay here. Have you ever signed that many cards in one sitting?
No, I haven't, and I'm not done yet, so there's still work to be done.
Oh, I'm giving you a little reprieve here.
Yeah,
You're like stretching out the hand, or it would be the left
yeah.
one. But
no, I write with my right hand.
You write with your right.
Luckily, so yeah, I'm saving bullets for the left.
How's it been so far? Like, it's got to be pretty surreal. The first question I ask everybody is like, what is it like that so many people like covet your signature on a picture of yourself? Like, that's got to it's got to be a kind of a wild concept to wrap your head around.
Yeah, the first time you sign them, it's pretty shocking, and then you realize that there's 10,000 more sometimes on the back end. So, but it's really cool, especially when people will send you mail, like kids want your autograph, and you see all these people like show up to the games to get your autograph. It's special.
I'd imagine that's something that's kind of ticked up for you in the last couple of years, being a part of a big trade, being sent over in the Josh Hader deal, but then also your performance, right? The way that you've been able to throw now at the upper levels, knocking on the door of the big leagues. I mean, last year was a huge success in so many ways, but what did you feel like really, I wouldn't say clicked because you've had dominant stretches in the minors previously, but what kind of settled in for you, I think on a different level, being able to have the success you had at AAA?
Yeah, I think it's just confidence. When you start seeing faces and names that you're familiar with, and sometimes the game gets a little big and speeds up. But the moment that I was able to realize that like the game is still a game, same people playing it. It's just in a new city. It's when that really settled it for me, and just going back to trusting myself, and knowing that I'm capable of succeeding, and just going with that.
What did you feel like as you climbed through the minor leagues, was kind of the biggest step for you in terms of making an adjustment? Was it getting to double or that adjustment to triple, especially with the AVS sometimes as well?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a guy that's around the zone. You have good stuff, but, I mean, we've seen some of the best arms in the minors have a little bit of an adjustment period there. Was AAA kind of the biggest hurdle for you?
Yeah. I was actually really, really grateful to go there a little bit in 2022 just to kind of feel that out. We didn't even use ABS then, and I still walked 6 guys a game. So it was definitely an adjustment period. And even last year, there was times where it was difficult to get in the zone. But once you realize that you just gotta force hitters to want to swing and induce contact, it cleans up the game. And but the ABS is good. I'm more of a fan of the challenge system. I think that's the best way to do it. It's just there's a little bit of there's some gamesmanship to it.
Yes.
And you need to know when to use them, as well as the fans are excited when you go to the big screen after a challenge and you see the ball track in there. It's it's like tennis, that stuff.
I love that you're saying this because we've made this. We didn't pay Robert to say this, but it's the point that we've been making on the show a million times because my co-host on the Call Up, our Prospect podcast, is AAA broadcaster, and he's like, dude, it's the most fun thing in the world. It's like tennis. You get the slow clap, and is it almost become like, do you get mad if a guy on your teammate like burns your challenges? Like, how did you guys allocate those? And when you're pitching, are you able to say like, let's challenge that one, or do you just leave it up to the catcher?
Well, we actually had when we first got it, guys were you're using them just sparingly, but it came. I think once we talked about it and sat down, it's like, all right, you want to save them to later in the game. And you want to use them in situations where it actually can benefit or influence the game, where 2-1 counts, 1-1 counts,
Big
with
swings.
runners on base. And then I've actually had a lot of success challenging. I'm 4 for 4 career, so mark that down.
That's big.
So I haven't missed a challenge yet, so hopefully I can keep that streak alive. But I'm pretty confident in my challenge game.
That's going to be a new caveat in the scouting reports. It's like, this guy's an asset with challenges. I mean, they got people in the NFL, they got jobs just for reviews. But what do you think it is? Well, you are a deception guy too, right? Like, hitters struggle to pick the ball up out of your hand, and I'm sure the catchers at times are probably like a little bit thrown off too.
The umpires too.
Do you feel like there's a pitch out of your arsenal that tends to not get called as much, or in a certain location? Because again, you are unique with your delivery. Your stuff is unique, which is why you get a lot more swings and misses. Do you feel like there's one pitch that maybe you don't get as much as others?
Yeah, my slider, just because it doesn't really go down. It has like lift to it, so it kind of stays at the bottom of the zone longer than an umpire might expect to, as well as like going horizontally so much. It's difficult to figure out where to actually cross and where it finished. So hopefully it's better to get swing and misses with that one because it's difficult to get the call sometimes. But yeah.
So I know you mentioned that you weren't the biggest collector before we started going here, but I'm sure you're getting a lot more interest seeing these cards, seeing some of the guys around here that are signing them. If you could collect one rookie card from an active big leaguer right now, who would it be? And you can't sell it, so I don't want you to just pick the most expensive guy. So don't say Ohtani.
No.
I'm gonna say no Ohtani, but anybody else. Who would you collect? It could be someone that you just enjoy watching, or just a card that you want to have.
Jacob Mizorowski, my future teammate, he'll pitch for a very long time and will throw hard for a very long time. So I'd want his card.
Can you elaborate a little bit on what makes him, outside of the obvious 6'7", throws 102, but like why it's so incredible what he does on the mound as someone who is also very talented on the mound but has been able to see it up close and personal?
Yeah, I think it's just like, it's almost, I mean, obviously he's putting a lot of effort in, but it looks like it's easy. It's not forced. It just comes out naturally, and, just the way his body moves and, like, the extension that he gets and the way his torso is when he releases it. Like, when you watch the slow-mo, I'm in awe, personally. I don't know what others think, but, yeah, I really enjoy watching him throw, and, he's still learning a lot, so, like, and he's already really good, so I can only imagine where it's going to be when he's got a finished product.
So, you're a guy that's knocking on the door, the big leagues, and we've also talked about you don't have to say it, but I think you deserve a spot in the big league rotation starting this year, and I think you earned that with what you did last year. Like, what are some of your focuses in spring training, as, of course, trying to prove that and continue to prove that? I think you already have, but what have been some individual focuses for you during camp, coming off of such a good year where you threw a lot of innings at the same level with success? Like, what can you build on, and what has kind of been a focus in spring coming off of that?
The focus really is just figuring out, or I guess getting back to what pitches I can throw for strikes early in the count and how can I put away hitters. It comes down to getting ahead. I mean, that's what we focus on, is just if you can get ahead and, you'll be able to put guys away. But once you get behind in counts, you're at a severe disadvantage. They always show the stats, the difference in the counts, and it's real, being – especially over the course of a game, one at bat that might sway one way, but if you're consistently behind, you're going to get in trouble and you're going to get hit. So for me, it's just being in the zone as much as I can early, and making sure 2-strike pitches are in good locations.
Last one for you, your arsenal. Can you kind of walk us through just what you think makes it work the way that it does? Of course, I think the fastball does really set the tone because of just the way you're able to get whiffs, the kind of the ride that it's able to generate, some of the life there. But and again, the way it seems like it's hard for hitters to pick it up out of your hand. But what do you think makes your arsenal so effective? And can you kind of talk a little bit about how it works off of itself?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple good pitches. I don't think I have any pitches that are elite or stand out, but I think it's just the mix. And like I said, being in the zone. If I'm in the zone, I can throw anything I want in any count and feel confident in doing that. I think last year my usage was almost fairly split, except for the changeup was dwindling. But we're getting that back. It's becoming a weapon again. So I'm really excited for that this year.
New grip, or just trying to get more comfortable with it again?
Honestly, it's just I just started throwing it more and not really worrying about what the results and what's going to happen. And next thing I know, I'm throwing it for strikes, getting swing and miss. So I'm really looking forward to that pitch this year.
Was that during the off season you started throwing it more, or towards the end of the year?
Yeah, I was working on it in the off season, and not even really changing it. Like, same grip I had, not changing the way I think about it. It's really just like trusting it and throwing it with conviction.
That's exciting. Well,
yeah.
Even more reason for you to be in the big league rotation. I'm looking forward to. It's a matter of when, not if. So I'm looking forward to when that happens. But congratulations on all the success so far, and thanks so much for the time, man.
Thank you.